everyone, it's me, Sean Capri. I'm in my car and you're listening to the Nintendo Drive. I'm on a Skype call with my friend, Console Caito the Spiciest Potato. And on our journey today, we got that character up in Smash, and of course the entire internet is super happy about it, so jump on into the Nintendo Drive. Here we go!
Hi, Sean.
Caito, I had a couple things running through my mind during that screaming intro. Many things. One thing I want to give a shout out to is our friend Lachlan, who I had on We the Gamercast. The episode will be coming up very soon, but she may have disclosed to me, I don't know if she wanted me to share this, but that she giggles every time the podcast starts, because I think I catch her off guard a little bit. So that one was that was dedicated to her, and I'm not sure if producer Ryan is going to include it or not, but that may or may not have been the second take this time. I called you a tomato. I called you a tomato. You're going to be in salsa now.
Oh my gosh, that was hilarious.
Out of control today.
Oh, well, how are you doing?
I'm actually really good. I'm really excited to talk about all the things. I've been scattered across a whole bunch of games the last little while, and I don't know, like, I don't really play a whole heck of a lot of Smash, but for some reason I kind of got jazzed up by today's Direct, and I also just in case you were wondering, it makes me jazzed up about the Animal Crossing one coming up too, because today was kind of a big deal for Smash.
Yeah, I'm even more excited. And we're going to get into it. We're going to get into all the Smash stuff later, but I obviously had to watch it, or at least part of it today, because I just had to know what was going on. But yeah, I'm definitely more excited about Animal Crossing now, all things considered.
Yeah, isn't it amazing they left it to today? Like, we don't have to wait to report on this like next week at all. Like, this was perfectly timed. It was just this morning. It's fresh in our minds. I got to hang out with the Nintendo dads. They were streaming it live this morning. So yeah, good times had by all, I think.
Yes. So good. It was good.
It was good.
That's my first.
Okay.
My first
little hint
kind of thing.
Where we're at.
Okay, let's clean out the garage a little bit before we get into all of the Smash talk. As always, remember that you can listen to the Nintendo Drive on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and also YouTube, youtube.com/Yumi Capri. We do have a comment this week from YouTube from Pharoh, who said, "Fun episode. I'm shocked at the Chris Pratt disdain from Sean and praise of Seth Rogen Kong. Seth Rogen is the reason my enjoyment of the Direct was hampered. He was my least favorite part of the cast. What a world. That said, Monster Hunter Sunbreak was my absolute highlight, and it was what kicked things off. Animal Crossing and Surprise Mario Golf update were a close second. Worst thing is Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong." So,
just to be clear, not pleased with Seth Rogen. Not a fan. I thought this was a great comment, and really I wanted to highlight it here because like, we welcome everybody of all like different types of opinions. I thought it was so interesting how opposite we came off of this, and as loud and obnoxious as I can be on the show, it's, I'm never saying anything objectively. It's just like my own take. And I love when people jump in with comments like this. Like, I thought of this differently, or this hit me like I was excited for this. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of the whole point of it all, to be honest with you. So yeah, a lot of people jumping in, always appreciating people with like, love the episode, had a great time with it, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's awesome. And then this one jumped out to me big time as, somebody who listens to the show. So thank you so much. And then was compelled to leave a comment on the opposite end of the spectrum. I love that. I welcome that every single week.
Agree. Yes. And this was a very respectful way to disagree with someone's opinion. And yeah, I'm the same. I appreciate that. It's a good comment.
I mean, obviously wrong, but no, I'm just kidding.
You have the wrong opinion.
Wrong opinion. Nope. And I stand to be wrong about all of it. I stand to be, maybe Seth Rogen is a terrible choice for Donkey Kong. We'll see, but I don't have really huge expectations out of the acting performance for Donkey Kong, so maybe that's where I am with that. But
well,
anyway.
Does anyone really?
I don't think so. I don't think they should, but that's maybe a whole other story.
Right. And another reminder, you can support the show and get early access to the Nintendo Drive and other podcasts and exclusive perks at patreon.com/YumiCapri. We also want to thank our newest patron, Andrew Watson.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Andrew. You can support us over on patreon.com/YumiCapri. Now let's go ahead and jump into the playlist because it looks like you have a bunch of games that you played.
I'm all over the place, Caito. I am all over the place. And this is maybe the first game I'll jump into is one where I would really enjoy other people if they've played this game. Steel Assault is a 2D action, classic Super Nintendo, kind of a blend of Mega Man X and Castlevania and Contra, I would say, are kind of like the three that seem to blend together. And I bought this game. I paid with it with my own money. And I seriously considered one of the breaking news items this week to be the rundown of games that I bought on the eShop sale this last week because I kind of went nuts. I kind of bought a bunch of games.
Yeah.
They were all on sale.
That's what it looks like from this list.
Basically what happened.
You're just scrolling down trying to see what you could get.
And I'll take this chance. I like to stay as positive as possible whenever I can. But I have to say, when there is a big sale like this, and I've always enjoyed the wish list functionality of the eShop, but there is no cart function, meaning I can't dump all my games into a cart and then buy them all at once. It's a good thing that I get obsessive over things. Otherwise, I would have given up halfway through buying the games that I had selected. What a pain in the butt it was to buy these games one at a time.
Yeah. And I'm the kind of person who I like to just add stuff to my cart and then just kind of look at it. Say I have a budget of hey, I have $50 to spend.
Seriously.
I would love to just add them to my cart. And I'll probably end up adding, $70 worth. Right. And then maybe I take off one game. Maybe I end up spending $60 instead of the $50 I intended to. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's I agree with you. It's very frustrating.
Doesn't even work online.
Option.
Not even on the website. Not on the console. Not on the website. And literally, I was facing the exact same thing that you described. I actually had to start a spreadsheet to figure how much am I about to spend here because I've chosen about 15 games. So I really had to put in time to schedule time for this activity. Anyway, that's not what people want to hear. Steel Assault is a game that's brand new. It caught my attention because it has that sort of retro flair and reminded me of the games I mentioned, Mega Man, Castlevania, and Contra. But I played it for maybe an hour and a half, and I think I'm done with this, Caito. This is not a game that I'm going to play. I think it's needlessly difficult. It's it's sort of just basking in its own retroness, if that makes sense. Oh, look how retro we are, and the graphics, and there's a CRT mode, and the music, and I don't know. I don't think that it really adds up to anything that resonates with me, and I just kept dying over and over and over again. It didn't seem like there was really a path or approach to it that made sense to me where I could just avoid it. It was you're just going to take that hit and kind of deal with it. There's a mechanic in it where you don't have a gun, but you basically have a whip, kind of like an electrified whip, which is where the Castlevania reference comes from. And then you can traverse across the land with a kind of like a zip line that you can attach between two platforms, either up and down or left and right. And once you kind of string it along, and you can kind of Spider-Man your way across these levels, but it's not as satisfying as I thought it would be based on some of the trailers and things I was looking at there. But I don't know that I really should do this all the time, but I felt like I was kind of maybe missing something, so I was checking out Metacritic, and and everybody seems to love this game. This seems to get a lot of praise from people who like this sort of game, so maybe it was just a miss for me, unfortunately.
Yeah. What were the other ones a hit?
The other ones were a huge hit. Yeah, Love Colors. Let me tell you about Love Colors.
I almost downloaded this after you talked about it on the Xbox Drive.
Yep, it's a $2 paint by numbers game, and this is just giving you a sense of where I'm at. No thank you, our hardcore retro action game. Yes, please, paint by numbers game that I can play with my kids, and has beautiful music and wonderful illustrations, and it's co-op. You can sit there with anybody up to 4 players, and you can color these things together. And I have to say, I've had a lovely time with Lincoln and Ellie, and just coloring apples and kittens and bunnies and things like that. Very cute.
Yeah. I think I may get it. Just for when the little one is old enough to do a paint by number style of thing.
Yeah.
I think he would also enjoy that. And it's cheap enough if it's still on sale.
It's so
haven't
cheap.
Checked.
I will and I'm watching Ellie kind of like learn to be more precise with the controller. Like I actually think it's kind of interesting because Lincoln he's good with it. He'll see the number and he'll go to it. Ellie she'll be 3 next month. And just watching her just like fine tune her motor skills with this thing to like, she knows where she wants to go, but she'll kind of like overshoot it by 1 or 2. So that's kind of fun to watch.
Yeah.
So I'm teaching her stuff, obviously.
Interesting choice. Love colors.
Very, I don't know. It caught me in a mood. Lastly, I will just tell you about Rayman Legends Definitive Edition. It was like $15. My wife and I kind of looked at each other and went like, why don't we have this game on Switch? And it's as good now as it was on Wii U and on all the other consoles. If people have not checked out this game, I think this is like darn near required if you're at all into platforming. This is such a good game. And just very, very briefly touched on that and played it a little bit.
Yeah.
Right before we buy Metroid.
One of the best platformers I've played. I played it on Vita.
Oh, really? Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I played I platinumed Origins, Rayman Origins on Vita.
Oh, maybe it was. I hope I'm thinking.
I don't
know
if this one was. Yeah, I don't know if this one was. Maybe it was. You might be right.
It was.
Yeah.
I think it was. Well, if I'm wrong, then the other Rayman was a great platformer as well.
If you're wrong, then people can help out the algorithm on the YouTube channel and let you know in the comments
just tell
below.
me how wrong I am about everything that I say. Okay. Well, I'll talk about that later. Let's get into the breaking news.
Okay.
Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
The Direct. It happened. You watched it. I watched it. Mm-hmm. 500 million people watched it.
Honestly.
It felt like.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching the actual. I didn't watch a stream, like a separate stream of it.
Yeah.
I watched the actual one because I kind of wanted to gauge everyone's reactions to it, to whatever happened. And first off, what was your reaction? How did you feel about this?
I kind of like, this is not like a personal, oh wow, heartfelt moment for me. Like I don't have like a real connection to Kingdom Hearts. But my reaction was kind of like, it could have been worse, I guess is my overall reaction. I was hanging out with the Nintendo dads, as I mentioned, and before they announced it, Marty over there said, if they reveal that it's a Monster Hunter character of some sort, then he will be furious. And I actually kind of agree with him on that. So he set the stage and set the bar pretty low. So when Sora showed up, and was it the Key that showed up first? I was like, okay, yeah, I could. It's actually, they deserve a lot of kudos on the legal side of it all, because it's, there's a Square side of it. There's also a Disney side of it all. So I felt like it could have been worse. It wasn't like my number one pick, and it doesn't necessarily push me to go get it, but I feel like I'm generally happy with this.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not a huge Kingdom Hearts fan by any means. I've played the games, some of them, and I obviously don't have any interest in playing Smash at all. So really my opinion doesn't matter. So
I should say we fired up Smash on Wii U. We did that. Lincoln did not like it. He did not understand why the characters kept coming back. He felt like once they were smashed into oblivion, they should not come back and get another chance.
That's true.
I might have to wait a few months to reintroduce that to him. But I was kind of getting in the Smash, just kind of getting in the mood, before the Direct, and seeing if they would like, because all the characters they love are there. Like, it's a great formula. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe next year, this is my year for Pokemon. Maybe next year is my year for Smash. Maybe I've got some catching up to do on this one.
Yeah, well, here's my thing about this. Sora was so heavily rumored.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was just heavily rumored because people wanted Sora, or it was heavily rumored because it was leaked to some capacity.
Right.
I find it, it's not a coincidence that it was so heavily rumored, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And that's just one of those situations where it just ruins it.
Yeah. It totally does.
So heavily rumored. And it would have been such a bigger announcement if it hadn't been.
Yeah. I couldn't have said him better myself, actually. Like, because it did feel like, oh yeah, there he is. Yeah. They got him. Mm-hmm.
And, someone like, Master Chief would have been a bigger announcement, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But even that has been pretty heavily rumored or talked about, that it's kind of like, well, everything has been talked about. We've kind of been there, done that. This isn't even an announcement at this point. It's just, okay, which of these characters is actually going to make it?
Right.
I don't know.
Well, and there's so many in it. There's so many in it that it removes, and also there was clarification for like characters like Goku. I don't know if Sakurai ever addressed specifically Goku, but at one point he had mentioned like only video game characters. Okay, so then they kind of like narrowed things down even further. So it's like no Ninja Turtles, no Goku, no Dragon Ball or anything like that. So yeah, the options I think were fairly limited, and this feels like a. Speaking of rumors, something that we're not talking about today that I'm just going to specify that we're not talking about it, so I'm kind of mentioning it only to say that we're not going to talk about it, is the rumors for Switch Pro. We know they're out there. We're not interested at this point.
It's just let's just stop.
We're just not doing it. We are making a choice. We are already recording the show in a car. The other way we are different is we are not talking about that Switch thing that people want to rumor about. So you're right. Like this was what really could have surprised us, and also, been something that we would have enjoyed, right? Because we've been talking about this for so long. It's been so dragged out. And ultimately it's a sword fighter, So I don't know if anybody really reads into that. To me, like I kind of want a sword fighter. Like when I think about Smash, I like the characters that carry a sword. I don't know. I don't look at that as being something as a negative when they reveal these characters. But it's not a Monster Hunter character. It's not another Fire Emblem character. Monster Hunter, Fire Emblem, they're all out. So that's pretty good. No Waluigi. People might be disappointed by no Waluigi, but that's okay.
I will say it was about, from what I was seeing, I would say it was about 60-40 split of 60% of people were happy and about 40% were not.
60% is pretty good though. Like even to have any sort of wave of positivity in any of these announcements.
It's also hard to gauge too, because
I know
in those kind of situations, it's how many people are just here to troll and how many people are, what's actually going on in this chat. But I think there were a lot of good responses. So kudos to them. I'm curious why is it ending? Why don't they just keep going with this? You think they're making another Smash game? Is this kind of it for Smash?
Where do they go from here?
Where do they go? What's next? Why not just keep going? I mean, if you can, there's endless amounts of characters you could add. Why stop?
It does seem like, I don't know where that decision comes from, because you're right. Like this could be endless. I don't know if there's some sort of weird urgency or something that comes along with you just got to buy this pack because like there is nothing more, like I don't know if there's that strategy to it. I don't know if there can be, like we won't get another Smash on Switch, So maybe to your point, like why not have people just dumping money into this thing for the next however many years we're going to have a Switch. Do you think that like they just can't go back on this? We all understand that they're saying this is it. Is there any chance in your mind that they kind of like go, just kidding, like we've been, I don't know, we want to do something else? Is that even a possibility? I don't think so.
I didn't think about that. I don't think they can go back on this.
I don't think so either.
I think it's pretty definitive. I mean, he waved goodbye, like
I know.
This is it. Bye.
And even that, like, it was a very humble. I think they did a good job of kind of describing all of the things. They're like, I think at one point he's like, I want to go over some of the milestones or achievements of this game. And I thought that was really great, but also a humble way to go over just how massive this is. They talked about, I think, 89 fighters in this, which is, that's an amazing number. I don't know why, but the music and the number of stages, like we're talking about thousands of songs here. I think 1,100 songs in this game. Like that really starts to me show the scope and scale of everything that the team has really put into this. So I thought that was interesting.
I am curious what your thoughts are on like the pacing of this direct.
Oh yeah.
How you felt about how long it was, all of that kind of stuff. Because for me, I was glad that they announced Sora pretty early on.
Right.
So I could just be like, okay, there's that. I felt like there was a lot of gameplay, and maybe I'm just not interested in that because I don't play Smash. I'm just kind of like, okay, we get it. He's a fighter. You can fight with him.
This is what happens when you push this button, and this is when you push this button.
That wasn't it for me, but maybe someone who plays Smash enjoyed that and enjoyed all of the ins and outs of how
They
to use
did.
the character. But what did you think? Do you think it was too long?
I always
long
do.
enough?
I always do think that part is just a little much, and it's whether it's Smash or they'll do it probably with Animal Crossing as well. Like they kind of go like, this is what happens in this menu, and they'll do the same in Fire Emblem. They get like really into detail, and so yeah, I think there's a particular audience for that, the sort of hardcore fans who enjoy that. It's not for me. I was surprised at just how much content overall they did have to share. But I think at the same time, I was glad that they kind of stretched it out as that last hurrah. Like I said, it was it felt like a humble last moment. I almost wish that they did something a little bit more celebratory of like the community and how far the game has come a little bit more. But yeah, I never really get into the down B buttons or the counters or whatever it is. And the other side of it too is if I was more into Kingdom Hearts, maybe I might go, oh, I recognize that nod or whatever that move, wherever that comes from. There's always a reference to something else that is usually pretty special. And for me, that just doesn't resonate because I don't like that little stupid gummy ship that he flies around in. That's my main bone to pick with this whole Kingdom Hearts series. I don't think that gummy ship is good.
Well, speaking of the Kingdom Hearts series, the 3 of the Kingdom Hearts games are coming to Switch as cloud versions. So we've got Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 and 2.5 Remix, Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8, these names, Final Chapter Prologue, and Kingdom Hearts 3 are all headed to the Switch. So what do you think about this announcement?
These games, I honestly was kind of surprised at the fact that they're not on Switch already in some capacity, but I mean, I don't know how they would have been. They are, I guess, Xbox One and PS4 versions of the game, so I don't know why. It just kind of like surprised me. Oh, they weren't there already. Glad that they're there. These are cloud versions of the game, so I'm very interested to see how that just continues to be a strategy. It seems to solve for the not enough performance or hardware in the Switch. So I'll be interested to see how that actually works. For me personally, these are games that at least have been. They may still be on Xbox Game Pass. So that's probably where I would choose to play these games, but it totally makes sense as a final character added to Smash. They should have some representation on the console itself as well. So, maybe somebody discovers Sora for the first time and now they can go beg their parents to go spend the money on these games. That's really how it should go. It makes quite a lot of sense to me.
Yeah. Okay, now since they're cloud versions, explain to me again what that entails as far as playing it.
Yeah, so it's sort of like when you stream like a movie off of Netflix, like you don't download the entire movie onto like a disc or onto your Blu-ray drive or anything. It's being shown from somewhere else and displayed on your screen. And that's how these cloud games work as well. You don't actually download the game onto your Switch, so it's kind of nice on the storage front. But it also means that like a computer or a computing device somewhere else is actually rendering the game and receiving the input from your controller and then putting it back onto your screen. So the reason why, whenever we talk about cloud stuff and then go, but it's on cloud, the reason it's a but is there will always be a reliance on your internet connection. So if you have a great internet connection, then you probably have a pretty good experience, but there is a chance that you might not have the best internet connection, or for whatever reason, the cloud experience might not be all that great. So yeah, results may vary with cloud games is maybe the best way to put it.
Okay, interesting. Mm-hmm. Now, do you think this means more cloud games are coming? This along with the Ethernet port that got added to the OLED?
Yeah, and I like that is being added to the OLED model, and yeah, this is a thing now. Like Guardians of the Galaxy is going to be available on cloud as really the only way to do it. One of the Resident Evil games was, I can't remember if it was 7 or 8. I think it was 7. Control from Sam Lake's team. Gosh, I'm forgetting his Remedy, I think it is. So a lot of games are coming available in this way, and this seems to be just the latest in a way, like to play the latest generation of games on a tablet, basically. So yeah, I think that does tie in nicely with the fact that there's a LAN port. I highly, highly recommend a hardwired internet connection for really anything in general, but certainly on when you're playing a cloud-based game.
Right. Interesting that they can do all these cloud games, but they can't do cloud saves in Animal Crossing.
Seriously.
But what do I know?
Yeah,
okay,
we
they
just,
also
our weekly dig.
yeah. They also added a bunch of Mii Fighter costumes that will be coming on October 18th. All priced at 75 cents each. They added a couple of Splatoon ones. Doomslayer.
Yeah.
And Octoling and Judd from Splatoon. So those were interesting. The Mii Fighters are not my favorite to look at.
No,
if I'm
same.
being honest, but
Yeah. It's usually like a wig or some pants. And sometimes I think the Doom guy actually looks pretty good. Like that's as good as I could really hope for without actually being a character himself. But did you see, I think you did, on Twitter, I think it was Doom that like was celebrating this, that Doom guy and Isabelle are kind of like friends again. You remember when those games launched on like the same day and there's a whole thing? So Doom guy and Isabelle can be in Smash together now. And that is very cute.
I loved that little character. It's so cute.
Honestly.
We also have some amiibo news as well. So Steve and Alex from Minecraft will both receive Smash amiibo.
You sound pumped.
Who are Steve and Alex?
Bet you didn't know that there was lore and characters and everything.
I had no idea.
Minecraft.
I thought you just created your own.
Yeah, no, Steve, he's been around since the beginning. You know, you got to have characters. I don't know. I'm talking out of my butt here. But so you'll have a Minecraft. Isn't that amazing though? Like you'll have a Minecraft amiibo.
I mean, they looked cool.
Yeah, definitely.
And the other ones, Sephiroth, Pyra, Mithra, and Kazuya.
Oh my
will
gosh.
also be receiving amiibo. And those looked really amazing.
They look awesome. Sephiroth especially. Like that sword is just so timeless and epic, and the hair and the design. Oh my gosh. Like that is, I've got a Cloud amiibo. I think I've got two actually, because they had like a player 1 and player 2 version of that. And to have those sitting next to a Sephiroth amiibo, like thank you Nintendo for giving me the Final Fantasy VII toys that PlayStation never did. You know, like that's awesome. I think and my amiibo hunting continues, Caito. Like, are you, I don't know. I don't think that like you're not like a completionist when it comes to amiibos or anything. I find myself saying that I'm done with amiibo. I don't need any more. And then they like I have a splash screen like that. I'm like, well, there goes my money. Like just give it to me now. I need all of those things.
Are you going to get them all?
Yeah, of course. Like how can I don't know. Like, and they're the last ones. I think this is kind of going into what I was talking about before about like, if there's nothing more, then why wouldn't I? I've come this far. Everybody can see kind of the shelf behind me when I stream or whatever. We have so many. We have almost all of them. So, and these look great too. I feel like amiibo just, for anybody who's been there since the early days, they have just gotten so much better. Seriously. Yeah.
They really have. Also, there's a note here that older Metroid amiibo are going to work with Metroid Dread. They've also been restocked on the Nintendo Store. So if you're looking for Samus or Dark Samus and Ridley, those are restocked. And they give you once a day you can replenish your life energy, and once a day you can replenish your missile ammo.
Nice.
In Metroid Dread. So those are cool little perks if you have those amiibo.
I do, and happy Metroid Week to everybody, by the way. Have we talked about this on the show? I think I might have hinted at it earlier. I think I'm buying this game.
Yeah. I know you are.
I'm
shocked you're not going to buy an OLED too.
No, I'll draw the line there. But I do think I'm going to be getting that there Metroid. I actually wanted to kind of get into the Metroid mood. I bought Axiom Verge. It was on sale. It doesn't look like I'll have a chance to get to that prior to Metroid Dread, but you know, I've got to at least, if I'm going to talk smack about not loving Metroid, then I better, back it up by actually playing Metroid, and then I can really tell people how I feel,
Right.
I feel like I kind of just like, I can only poop on so many things without playing it. And I probably used up that card more than a few times with Animal Crossing up until I finally started playing that last year.
Yeah.
For a couple months.
You should have played Animal Crossing sooner.
I may have talked to Lachlan about that as well. And I may or may not have some like deep-rooted regret with that because, my good friend Bobby was kind of into that game, and I was just thinking it probably would have been good to design an island or, participate alongside that. But
yeah,
that was a regrettable moment.
Well, don't regret it. But...
Well, thanks for, should have played it earlier. I know, Caito.
Okay, last news story. Tetris 99 is hosting a Monster Hunter Rise event this weekend. Will you be playing this?
Of course.
Like you will, just to get it, even though you don't care.
I don't really care about Monster Hunter. And I when I saw that, I think that was before, it would have been before the reveal this morning. I think that's where Marty and I were connecting on this like mental note that maybe it is Monster Hunter. Like why did they announce Monster Hunter for Tetris 99 on that? Like it was just yesterday as we record this. So don't really care too much about Monster Hunter, to be honest with you, but this is my calling. It's like a siren's call, siren song. I will come back. I will be brainwashed to play a little bit more Tetris, and I just love it. Let me keep collecting those themes and songs and all the things.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you enjoy doing those.
Yeah.
Just don't forget to put in your reminder so you don't forget this time.
Thank you. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I definitely need to do that. Thank you for having my back on that.
Yes. Okay, we do have some questions this week. So first question comes from Winter Gamer on Discord. This is a question for Caito. It says, do you find yourself holding off on playing your Switch until your OLED Switch comes out? And this is actually what I was going to talk about earlier because, yes, I remembered that Super Monkey Ball came out and I was going to buy it.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was like, you know what? That would look really good on my OLED.
Nice.
So I'm not going to buy it yet. I'm going to wait until Friday and then I'm going to buy it when I buy the OLED. Since I'm probably not getting Metroid Dread, at least not until you say, like if you get it and you're like, this is the best thing ever, then maybe I'll get Metroid Dread. But I'm just going to hold off until I get the Sean Capri.
That's a lot of pressure for me, by the way. And I know that people listen to our conversations that we record every week. And sometimes people will take a recommendation or will listen to my thoughts on a game and make a decision based on that. That is a thing. But for whatever reason, for you, I feel like it's way more pressure. If I were to say, I'm enjoying this game and I think you should play it, and then you buy it, and I feel like you'll just be really mad at me if you don't like it.
No, I won't.
I think you, and I feel like you would have every right to be. Like, what are you talking about? This sucks. I don't like this at all.
Are you going to stream it?
I think so. I think I would like to, I guess Friday is the day that it comes out, right? So that would be, I think we probably will do that. Yeah, okay. Let's do it. Yeah, I can't wishy-wash on this. I can't decide later. People are listening now. Yes. Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, twitch.tv/Sean Capri Metroid. I guess I just committed right there. I'm buying the game.
Okay, so you don't even have to let me know. I'll just watch and then I'll know.
Yeah. Hey, Caito, can I borrow like $60 American?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, next question comes from, I already forgot how to say it. Sean, how do I say it?
Nagachaka.
There we go. Who says, I have fond memories with the Smash Brothers franchise, staying up until 3 a.m., eating pizza, playing local multiplayer with friends, and an angry voice telling us to keep the noise down in the basement. And then there's the childhood memories. What is your fondest memory of Smash Brothers?
Man, I don't know that I have like a 3 a.m. one, but one thing that came to mind when I was reading this question was when Smash for Wii U came out. I don't know why. This is more special in my heart than maybe I can even describe it. In that I used to work at Canadian Best Buy, as I've talked about before. It's called Future Shop. And I became, lifelong friends with a whole bunch of people who worked there. They were the ones who kind of showed me the Wii for the very first time. And we geeked out about that back in those days, as I was not into GameCube really at all, as we've talked about on the show. The Wii was sort of like my reintroduction into Nintendo land. And so the friends that I had at Future Shop, we just geeked out about Nintendo all the time. And they love Smash. So by the time that Smash for Wii U came out, we had not been working together for quite some time. And we kind of got the band back together for a night. And that's really the one memory that comes to mind for me was, it was actually the same night that I bought a my first amiibo, which was the Wii Fit Trainer amiibo, and then
that was your first.
That was my first one. Isn't that like?
What?
I feel like that was actually a really good choice. To be honest with you, I'm super proud of that one. And then met up with just a whole bunch of like old pals that we spent all night, feeling like we were 15 years old again, even though we were old, crotchety old men. Just playing games, unlocking characters, playing all night. We were playing at a friend's house who had one of those giant projector screens. So just because we worked at Best Buy, so obviously he's got an incredible setup, and just had a great time. And I don't think I've seen that group of people since then. At least not all together. So a very special night. More about like the gathering than the game itself. But it was Smash that brought us together, and I think that a lot of people can resonate with that.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, very special.
That's a lot more special than mine. All I remember about Smash was playing it on N64 with my brother, and I don't remember ever learning the buttons. I was always just a button smasher.
Yeah.
And I would always play with like Jigglypuff as my character. That's really all I remember about it, is getting Jigglypuff and playing with my brother, and then any friends that came over, we would all play. But we were just never super serious about Smash for some reason.
Right. And I think that's the best place to be, though. You don't want to be super serious about Smash.
Yeah. I never continued on into the other games. I got it for Switch, and then I played it a couple of times, and I tried the online, and that was a mistake.
Yeah.
I was just out immediately. It was crazy. Everyone's so good at that game.
Everybody's so good. Yeah.
So good.
That Nickelodeon game came out. Did you know that? It wasn't even on my radar. I didn't realize it was coming out this soon. It came out like today or something like that. Like it's out. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I want to try that one. Maybe people won't be good at that one.
I was watching somebody stream it last night because I'm like, what the heck? I didn't even know. I thought this game was like 2022 and it's out. Even though I'm sure we've talked about specifically the date that it's coming out on the show. And this person is like Maximilian Dude is the Twitch streamer, very popular in the fighting game community. And he was just like, this is amazing. He said that the internet connection of it was like flawless. They had 12 people jumped in and no problems at all. So I actually, based on that alone, I kind of want to check that one out as well.
I'm gonna get that too.
I might have put in a request. We'll try to get a review copy of that one and check it out.
Are you still going to get Super Monkey Ball?
I am, but I think that might be a Black Friday thing.
Okay.
I think that might be one where probably will be cheaper down the line. Same thing with the Hot Wheels. That Hot Wheels game came out and that looks really good too. Hot Wheels racing game. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I'm going to be, I've got my Black Friday list kind of already happening here.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
One other thing I wanted to say about the Smash Memories thing. I have my cousin who is a couple years older than me. One of her boys is a really, really shy kid, doesn't really have a whole lot of friends. And when we went to visit them a couple of years ago, somebody had mentioned to Finn, who likes video games, like, hey, Uncle Sean really likes games. And so he showed me his setup and we played Smash for, a couple hours or something. And that was just really special for him because not a whole lot of people really connect with him. And I just kind of got to connect with, I guess, a second cousin in a really kind of cool way. And that was, I think, memorable for him and definitely memorable for me. So shout out to Smash for bringing people together like that, honestly.
Yeah, that's so sweet.
Yeah, very cool.
I bet there are a lot of memories like that. If you have a cool memory like that with Smash, definitely leave it down in the comments on YouTube so we can read about it. That is really nice. That's
why people geek out about Smash. Like, that's really it's not, the game itself is really cool too, but it's because it just anybody can really play. Obviously, some people are better than others, but if all you know how to do is smash A, then you'll probably be okay. Or maybe B. I don't know. Choose your button.
Okay, last question is from William Outbreak on Discord. What is a Nintendo game you love so much you wish you could forget it and play it again as if it was your first time? I love this question because it's something I talk about all the time. Because there are several, but the one that's jumping out to me is Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And it was just so good. And I don't know, the game is obviously great, but I also just don't know if it's like also related to like that time in my life there was something just special about. I don't know. There's so many factors that play into it, but I just remember sitting there with my Switch like all the time. Like I took it everywhere. I literally was talking about this the other night on stream, how I had to have a surgery and I took my Switch with me and I just played Breath of the Wild literally until they wheeled me back for the surgery. And I woke up and I'm immediately playing it again. So I wish I could forget that one and play it again. The good thing about it is I have a really bad memory. So I normally do forget everything. And I can just replay things or rewatch things. And it's like I'm playing for the first time. So there's that. Yeah.
Because like so much of it is when and where you played it. Like there's, especially for me, I didn't have the consoles in my own house. So I was always somewhere else. I was always at like neighbor Matt's or, Sheldon's or Ross's house. Shout out to Sheldon and Ross. And so my memories of that are tied to that. So I guess my answer is going to be like a Super Mario 3, because now I know like all the secrets. Like you kind of just do it by muscle memory almost, and that the discovery of what's being hidden is so magical to me. Like even to this day, I have an appreciation that it's there, but like wait, what the heck is a warp whistle? And like you can skip levels and worlds and stuff. I think that is so great, and probably one of the things that I can separate from, say, like a Ocarina of Time, where the game itself maybe doesn't hold up as well, but like you have a lot of good memories with it at the time. But for me, that's not the game that I would choose. I would choose something like that has really cool game mechanics from back in the day that would hold up now, I think. And that to me is Super Mario 3 or World. Any of those things, just discovering them for the first time is so magical. Yeah.
Is there anything more current that you would want to relive?
Man, Shovel Knight maybe is sort of like a weird kind of like, it's an older one, like older style. But yeah, like that one, the music is so good.
You didn't say Ori.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking more, I think of Shovel Knight as core Nintendo, even though it's available everywhere else. But yeah, I don't know. I was thinking still along those lines.
Super specific, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, really, I'd love to. I'm kind of like you, and Ori is a good example of this. I don't remember Ori at all. Like, I love that game, and I basically have early onset dementia. Like, my brain is terrible. So yeah, if I were to fire that up, it would feel new again. But there's fewer games that I've played as many times as like Super Mario 3, where I'd just like to wipe the slate clean. And even as an adult, I think the game itself would just be fun to play as if it were the first time.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Honestly, it's shocking that we remember to film this every week.
Yeah, really.
So.
That we rely so much on technology and reminders and calendars and everything to tell us the things.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think it's got to be a Mario. I think those are timeless ones.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that is all of our questions for today. That is all of our thoughts on Smash. So where can everyone find you on the internet?
You find me on, let's start with Twitch, Friday night, Metroid. I'm going to play this game that I was not excited about, and you can see how I live react to that. Twitch.tv/Sean Capri. Follow me on Twitter at Sean Capri. It's Sean like Connery, Capri like the pants. And if you guys like the show, you can join Andrew Watson and others at patreon.com/Yumi Capri.
And you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter at Console Caito. That is all for episode 24 of the Nintendo Drive. Thank you so much for listening. And until next time, this was Console Caito Tomato. Come back next week for all of our thoughts on Metroid Dread and the new OLED Switch.
The Nintendo Drive is fueled by patrons at patreon.com/Yumi Capri. And from the bottom of my heart, I am so grateful to the nearly 70 patrons who support us each and every month, with our special thanks to our Capremium producers, Dallas Ford, Lee Navarro, the fearless leader of the Phoenix Overdrive Extra Life team, and Jonathan Brown, the man behind the music on this show and the Xbox Drive. You can support Jonathan at youtube.com/PM Entertainment. Our platinum producers, Robbie Bobby Miller and Trucker Sloth. Our gold members, Argo, Benji Kong, Brendan Myers, Dallas Robbins, Dano, Emily O'Kelly, Foolish Fuji, Heather Boney, James Johnson, Joel Brooks, Jose Jimenez, Mac Time, Marcus O'Neill, Mr. and Mrs. Nasty Boots, RJ Kern, Skinny Matt, and Xavier Reyes. If you enjoy this show and you'd like to support independent content, you can go to patreon.com/Yumi Capri and choose the tier that's right for you.